Welcome to Wrestling News and Results. We just concluded another week in the WWE Universe, and we are going to cover a number of topics tonight. First off, we're going to start off with a possible injury of a superstar. Her name is Emma, and she is on the Raw brand. They were Raw and Smackdown were recently over in London and Scotland and all over in the UK recently, and she was in a tag team match against Sasha Banks and two others. I can't remember who exactly. Bailey, I think, and someone else. And Sasha was involved. She was going against Emma and did a move in the corner, and I think Emma possibly injured her shoulder. There is no confirmation at this point that what the injury is, but there is a confirmation that she is injured. Just not sure what the injury is. So hopefully we can find out more information about that, and I can let you know next week. Not sure at this point. An injury update on Roman Reigns is that he is healing from the internal injuries and the shoulder injury that he received from Payback from Braun Strowman, and he was still taped up Monday night. If you were able to watch, he was still heavily taped up, but he was able to be at Raw, so hopefully things are on the mend. Braun Strowman, on the other hand, was on Raw, and his arm was in a sling. He somehow, there's an injury to his elbow. Not sure full details on that one. I will find out more details, hopefully, and can let you guys know what's going on with that. But it looks like he's going to be out for a while. Not sure how long. So the feud between Roman and Braun is going to be put on hold until Braun can come back. Not sure when that will be. It will probably be a couple of months at least, because I think he's going to be having to have surgery on his elbow. But we are going to get into the Raw results now. Dean Ambrose started out the show by saying that Kurt Angle couldn't make it tonight, so he was putting Dean Ambrose in charge. The Miz and Maurice, of course, interrupted because the Miz thinks he's all that in a bag of chips, and he says that Stephanie called him and said that she got wind of Angle's plan of putting Dean Ambrose in charge and made the Miz co-acting general manager for the night. Now, let's talk about this. Stephanie McMahon has not been on TV since WrestleMania. If you were able to watch WrestleMania, she was actually on the ring apron between her match, between Triple H's match, Triple H and Stephanie, Triple H and Seth Rollins match, and Seth Rollins hit Triple H, and Triple H backed up and hit Stephanie off of the ring apron, and Stephanie went through a table. Now Stephanie is a former wrestler, so she knows how to take bumps. And so she wasn't really injured. She just, played it off, obviously. The whole point of doing that was to write them off of TV for a while. I found out that they were actually going on vacation as a family. Triple H and Stephanie are married, in case you didn't know. And they have 3 daughters, so they were going on vacation. There is no timetable, I don't think, at this point, of when they're supposed to be coming back. I heard it was supposed to be Monday night, but they didn't show up, so I'm not sure the timetable on that one. So we'll see what's going to happen. So The Miz is also co-acting general for the night. Braun Strowman comes out and says that he's not done with Roman Reigns, and that once his arm is healed, he wants Reigns. After he's finished with Reigns, he wants Lesnar. Now, Brock Lesnar is the Universal Champion. We have not seen Brock Lesnar since WrestleMania, since he won the title from Goldberg. We have not seen him. He has not defended the title. He has not been on WWE programming, so not really sure what's happening. My opinion, no, this is my opinion, he should not be champion. My reasonings behind this is he should have to defend his championship within the 30-day rule. There is a 30-day rule that if you have to defend your championship. If you do not defend it, you will be stripped. Now, here's an example. Naomi, who is on the Smackdown brand, became injured. Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon knew she could not defend her championship within the 30-day title reign when she was the women's champion. Knew she could not defend it, so they stripped her of the title. So, why not do the same to Lesnar? Why not have all the rules apply to everybody? It makes no sense to me. Now, I've read reports where, okay, it's Lesnar. Lesnar is this and that, and he's, it's Lesnar. Like, I don't care who he is. I don't like him. That's just my opinion. I don't like him. I don't like what he stands for. He's a bully. Yes, I heard that that's mainly just who he is on TV. But I have seen in DVDs and in other stuff that that's not just who he is on TV. That's who he is in real life. That he's a bully. He's just a jerk. Like, that's not just on TV. That's his persona. But I've also read reports where he is supposed to be coming back in July. He's supposed to be on the July 3rd Monday Night Raw. And he is supposed to be defending his title sometime in July. So I'll believe it when I see it. He shouldn't have the title. My opinion. Moving on. Kalisto comes out and says that he wants to face Strowman tonight after their match 2 weeks ago. Now, if you remember, Strowman faced Kalisto in a dumpster match. Now, in a dumpster match, you have to put your opponent inside the dumpster in order to win the match. Kalisto was able to do that despite the weight difference, the height difference, everything. Based on a technicality, it's still a win for Kalisto either way. Kalisto was able to kick Strowman's feet from out from underneath him, and Strowman landed in the dumpster. Ding, 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 win for Kalisto. Simple as that. So, Kalisto wanted Strowman Monday night. Strowman says that Kalisto won by a technicality. Strowman says that he could beat Kalisto with one arm. So, Ambrose makes the match. Of course, Strowman's like, but I said that, I'll face him when I'm healed. But Strowman said that he would face him with one arm. Why not? You're the one who said it. Why not? So Ambrose, of course, makes the match. Miz tells Ambrose that he just ended Kalisto's career. Ambrose says, but that before he got interrupted, he was putting Miz in the first match of the night against Finn Balor. So Finn Balor comes out, and he's going at it with the Miz. Of course, Maurice is out there too, because, think she has to stick her nose in everything. But Miz tries to get Balor disqualified by claiming that Balor put his hands on the ref. Ambrose comes out and says the match is not ending that way, and to restart the match. The match restarts and Balor wins. Miz is obviously not happy about that, but hey, Ambrose is acting general manager, so he can do what he wants. Sorry. Moving on. Nia Jax tells Alexa Bliss that she wants the next opportunity at the title after Bayley. Now, Bayley, as we all know, was the former women's champion, and she was defeated by Alexa Bliss at Payback in her own hometown. So, of course, Bayley is due a rematch for the championship, which is still undetermined of when that's going to happen. Hopefully soon. Just because I don't like Alexa Bliss. But Bayley says that she'll talk to Kurt Angle because, of course, Alexa Bliss says that, she can't make the matches. Nia says that until Bliss talks to Angle, that Nia will be Bliss's new best friend. Quotes. Second match is Alexa Bliss versus Mickie James. Now, Bliss comes out to the ring with Nia Jax. So, Mickie James comes out to the ring with Bayley. So Mickie James has made a face turn since she has come from Smackdown Live to Monday Night Raw. So let's see what happens with that face turn. I like her better as a face. Charlie Caruso, who is a backstage personality, is interviewing Samoa Joe when Seth Rollins attacks. They get into a brawl. They're trying to fight it out. Which ends up in a match later on. The third match of the night is Kalisto versus Braun Strowman. There's no winner. Braun Strowman says that no matter what Ambrose says, Strowman's not facing Kalisto tonight. The bell rings. Strowman kicks Kalisto in the stomach a few times, but Reigns' music hits. Reigns comes out and attacks Strowman's elbow, injuring him more. Strowman retreats into the crowd, leaving Reigns in the ring. Fourth match is a tag team turmoil match. Now, this match is to determine the number one contenders to face the Hardy Boys at the next pay-per-view. Two teams start out the match. Once one team is eliminated, another team comes out to continue the match. The remaining team will be the number one contenders. So the two teams that start out the match are Enzo and Cass versus Cesaro and Sheamus. Enzo and Cass end up being eliminated via disqualification. So Cesaro and Sheamus are now facing Rhino and Heath Slater. Rhino and Heath Slater get eliminated. So Cesaro and Sheamus are now facing Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson are then eliminated. So Cesaro and Sheamus are now facing the Golden Truth. The winners at the end and new number one contenders are Cesaro and Sheamus. Cesaro and Sheamus attack the Golden Truth after the match ends. The Hardy Boys come out to confront Cesaro and Sheamus, but they run. Typical Cesaro and Sheamus, whatever. Fifth match was Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe. Seth Rollins won via disqualification. Apparently, Kurt Angle came online to his Twitter account Monday night and said that Dean Ambrose's Intercontinental Championship title match is being moved up from the next pay-per-view to next week on Raw. So The Miz will face Ambrose next week. The sixth match was a cruiserweight match. It was TJ Perkins versus Jack Gallagher. And we heard prior to this match that Neville told Perkins that if he defeated Gallagher, that Perkins was going to get a championship match, but then Neville kind of went back on that, so not really sure what's going to happen with that one. The 7th match was Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox, and the winner was Sasha Banks. The 8th match was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. This match was set up via The Miz, and the winner was Bray Wyatt with an assist, of course, from The Miz. Now, let's talk about a few things that happened on Monday with The Miz and Ambrose being co-general managers. That was just a setup to be a failure. But it kind of worked out in their favor in the end, in a way, because it was kind of cool to see them setting up matches and, you know, going on for the next pay-per-view. We'll see what else stemming from that until next Monday night. And Cesaro and Sheamus being the #1 contenders for the titles. Of course, we knew that heels would have to win to face the Hardy Boys because the Hardys are baby faces. So we shall see who will win. Of course, I'm rooting for the Hardy Boys because I've always liked the Hardys, and I've met both of them previously. So I met I met both of them last year. Got a picture with Jeff last year, so they're both really nice guys. So, but moving on to SmackDown Live, they show previews from 3 weeks ago where we crowned a new #1 contender for Randy Orton's WWE Championship, being Jinder Mahal. We returned to Payback where Mahal attacked Orton with the championship during his match against Bray Wyatt. Randy Orton started out the show. Orton says that he lost at Payback because Mahal stuck his nose where it didn't belong. And of course, you know, when somebody talks about somebody else, they have to come out. So here comes Mahal with the Singh brothers, which I don't even understand this connection, so whatever. Mahal says he's going to win the championship at Backlash, which is the next pay-per-view, which is not tomorrow, but it's the following Sunday, so I think it's like the 21st. And take it back to India. Kevin Owens comes out, and Owens brags that he ended Jericho's career, which I talked about last week. Jericho's on tour with Fozzy. He's been there for about a week now, and it seems to be going well, according to like the posts that I've seen on Facebook. I've been following Jericho on Facebook for, I don't know, a while now. And the dates have been sold out, so it seems to be going well. Owens says that once he defeats Styles at Backlash, he's going after the championship to be the face of the WWE. Styles comes out and says that Owens can brag all he wants about taking out Jericho, but Styles is no Jericho. Styles says that he'll take out Owens, and then Corbin comes out, Baron Corbin, but before getting 3 words in, Sami Zayn comes out and attacks. This leads up to a 6-man tag later on in the evening. The first match is Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Now, we've seen over the last few weeks the Welcoming Committee, which is made up of Natalya, Carmella, Tamina Snuka, and James Ellsworth, because James Ellsworth is with Carmella. So they're pretty much ganging up because Charlotte has come over from Monday Night Raw and she got a championship match her second week on SmackDown, and they are mad. Well, Charlotte earned her championship match. So I don't know why they're mad, but I don't know. I don't like Charlotte, so It doesn't really matter to me. But Natalya won the match against Becky Lynch. Then they come into the back, and Lynch says to Naomi and Charlotte, they need to band together to outbond Carmella, Natalya, and Tamina. And it needs to happen at Backlash, which is the next pay-per-view. So a 6-woman tag team match is set for Backlash. So that should be a good match. There is no championship, like women's championship match set for Backlash at this point. Because Naomi is the champion. So I'm not really sure. It might change. I'm not sure at this point. We'll see what happens. But the Fashion Police have another segment about the Usos, who they call the Uggos. Because they don't like them, obviously. But the Fashion Police are stupid. I don't even understand this. Like, I don't even understand this entire... I don't know. I just don't... I don't understand their whole thing. Like, I don't get it. I think it's just stupid. They just need to get rid of the Fashion Police. They're just dumb. But they find the Ascension instead and reopen the case, as they say. The second match is Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. Now, if you recall, Eric Rowan and Luke Harper were both in the Wyatt family, so now they are facing each other because they're not in the Wyatt family anymore, because since the Superstar Shakeup, Bray Wyatt has gone to Monday Night Raw, so that is pretty much broken up. I mean, they were broken up before then, but this is pretty much the nail in the coffin that they are not getting back together. But Eric Rowan won that match. And then Dolph Ziggler calls out Shinsuke Nakamura. Now, Nakamura is a new wrestler that was in NXT for a while, but he's come from, like, New Japan, and he's come from, like, different... Like, he's come from another promotion that he's, like, a really good wrestler, supposedly. I haven't seen any of his matches. I don't watch NXT, so I don't really know how good he is. But apparently he's really good, so we'll see. He has yet to wrestle a match on Smackdown Live, so he's been there for, like, a month. So I'm not really sure. But Ziggler wants to wrestle Nakamura, and Nakamura accepts. But Ziggler says that they will wrestle at Backlash. Ziggler throws his jacket at Nakamura, but at the end, Nakamura is standing tall in the ring, and Ziggler's not in the ring. The third match is Breezango, which is the Fashion Police, versus the Ascension, and the winners are Breezango. Now, I haven't really touched on this much, but Breezango is facing the Usos for the tag team titles at Backlash. So we shall see. Now, I like the Usos. I don't like that they're heels now, but I like them when they were baby faces. So I'm rooting for the Usos to win, even though they're heels. So we shall see what happens at Backlash. The fourth match was a 6-man tag team match, which we saw happen at the beginning of SmackDown. With Corbin, Mahal, and Owens versus Zayn, Orton, and Styles. And the winners were Corbin, Mahal, and Owens, with Mahal pinning Orton. Pretty much, he pinned him clean, surprisingly enough. Kind of surprised. But, so, and I've already covered the Divas Welcoming Committee, and they're just, I don't even understand that. Whatever. Another topic I wanted to cover was Lana's debut. We have seen for the last few weeks that Lana, who was with Rusev, is coming back. Now, Lana has been repackaged and she's been training down in NXT since Rusev has been off with an injury. And Lana is supposed to be coming back and debuting soon on SmackDown Live. But according to the previews, she's a stripper? She's like a pole dancer? I'm not really sure what to take away from that. But if that's what they're, like, if that's what WWE Creative is supposed to be going with, I thought this was PG. Like, that's not PG. That's like PG-13. That's like rated R. Like, that's not family friendly. So I'm not really sure what they're going with there. I guess we'll see. And speaking of Rusev, he's supposed to be coming back next week. He's really not happy with Shane McMahon because Shane hasn't, like, responded to his demands about a championship match. Yeah, we'll find out more about what happens with that one on Tuesday. And Daniel Bryan's absence. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that Daniel Bryan hasn't been there. But he has been off the last few weeks because he is married to Brie Bella, and Brie Bella is pregnant, obviously. Well, not anymore. She just recently had their daughter. Their little girl came into the world a couple days ago. Her name is Birdie Jo Danielson. I think she weighed like 8 pounds, some odd ounces, I'm not even sure. I know she was like 8 pounds something. She was a fairly big baby, and she was like, I don't know, like 7 or 8 days past her due date, something like that. Like, she was past her due date. But, so, the baby is here, and I have not seen any pictures, like, of the baby's face. They've showed pictures of the baby's, like, foot, and they've showed a family photo of, like, the top of her head, but they haven't showed, like, the face. So, they claim that she looks like Daniel, but I hope she looks like Brie, because Daniel's just, I mean, Daniel's cute. There's nothing wrong with Daniel, but Brie is like, I mean, come on, she's a little girl. Goodness sakes. But, you know, what are you supposed to do? I don't really know, you know, it is what it is. He's probably going to be taking off a few more weeks to stay home. Not sure at this point how long he's going to be taking off to stay home with Brie and Birdie. But we shall see when he's going to return. Hopefully soon. And I have heard reports that, like, when his contract is up as a general manager for SmackDown Live, which is like in 18 months, I guess, or something like that, he wants to get back in the wrestling ring, because WWE officials and doctors won't allow him to wrestle because I guess he's too much of a, like, injury prone, because of his concussions and stuff that he's had in WWE. But he wants to get back into the independent scene. But I read a report recently where he wants to, if he decides, you know, if at that point when his contract is up, he will want to discuss with Brie and see where his health is at that point and where she thinks his health is, and if, you know, they think it's too risky, then, you know, then he won't. But, you know, if they think his health is good, then, you know, he may get back into the independent scene. Not really sure where WWE wants to keep going with the general managers and stuff. I kind of like the general managers. I like the you know, that kind of thing. I like the split brands. It's easier to kind of, this person's here, in a way. So we shall see where that kind of leads. Not really sure what's gonna happen. But they are supposed to be hosting a women's tournament this summer, which I'll be reporting on more. I have to get more information about it. There's not much information out there. Just that it's going to be a 2-day, like the UK Championship, UK tournament was. But this women's tournament is supposed to be a similar thing. It's going to be taped over 2 days down in Florida at the Full Sail University. And it's going to be, I guess they're going to get some new talent from all over the world to see, to bring in some more women. Because currently each brand, I think, has like 6 women, which is not enough to build stories off of, because you're just pretty much wrestling. Like, you're not wrestling a ton of people. Unlike the male superstars who are wrestling, like, you can wrestle a ton of people. So we'll see where the women's tournament goes. If there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, I'm going to be doing some research this week to find out some more about Emma's injury, to see what I can find out, see what possibly is happening there, and some other stuff. If you have anything you want me to talk about, any other information that you want me to get out, let me know, write a comment, give me a shout out, whatever you want, whatever you feel like you want to do. Don't forget to subscribe below. Let me know that you're watching. Thanks, guys. Have a good week.